We had no idea anything was wrong. He was healthy, he was running, we were trying to eat healthy, and one day he went to work like any other ordinary day, and I was in the living room playing with our 1-year-old son, and I remember it was a beautiful sunny day, and my phone rang, and it was JJ's number, and I thought it was strange because he normally was busy and didn't call me during the day. And I answered the phone, and it was an EMT. She said he had had a seizure, and I needed to get to the emergency room as soon as I could. No idea what was going on, just complete shock. Your brain starts churning. You have no idea what it could be. I got there. They thought he was okay. They thought that the scans looked fine, the tests looked like he was fine, and 50% of people have a seizure, never have one again. But thankfully I pushed for further testing, and an MRI showed he had 2 tumors. He ended up having a biopsy, and we found out that not only was it brain cancer, but it was the most aggressive form of brain cancer, glioblastoma multiforme. Those were some of the worst days of my life. The one thing you fear most, losing someone you love. It was shocking. The doctors originally didn't give us much hope. They said the tumors were inoperable. Because of where the tumors were located, if we tried to remove them, he likely would lose all ability to speak and understand language. And I'll never forget, I mustered up the courage and the strength to ask one of the doctors when everyone else was out of the room. I just said, just tell me what we're really looking at here, because I don't know anyone with cancer, let alone brain cancer. What are we talking about? Treatment, a possible cure, days, months, years? What are we looking at here? And he answered, he said, because it's inoperable and it's this cancer, maybe 4 months left to live if you're lucky. Thankfully, we didn't listen to the doctors. JJ needed me to fight for him, and I mustered up the strength to question everything. And we ended up getting second and third opinions, and finally found a doctor who was confident he could safely remove the tumors. JJ did standard treatment, clinical trial with experimental treatment, and he ended up going into remission for almost 2.5 years. And so we ended up having 3.5 years together. We spent as much time as we could with James. We spent as much time as we could with friends and family, doing the things that really matter most. And when JJ was in remission, we started to dream. We had always wanted more children, and the thought of having more was scary. As much as I wanted more children, I was afraid. And I remember ultimately JJ said to me, he said, "Chris, no matter what happens to me, you're going to need more love." And JJ's cancer ended up coming back in 2016. We must have gotten pregnant right before he started the clinical trial. So he is just my little gift. He has been such a gift to me during the last year without JJ. Anytime I need hope, anytime I need to be reminded to just live in this moment, I look at him and I realize how precious life is, and the unexpected gifts we can find amidst the sorrows. JJ always told me that I was stronger than I knew. He would encourage me to be brave and pursue my dreams, and he believed it when I didn't. But in that moment when he needed me, the love I felt for him, it inspired me to find the courage I never knew I had. And I think that, I've heard the saying that you don't know how strong you are until your only choice is to be strong. And it took tremendous courage for me to question all of the doctors. I knew I had to become his advocate if he was going to have any hope of long-term survival. So I educated myself as much as I could, and I let go of the fear, because I realized when you're facing death, what do you have to be afraid of? And I knew that the most important thing I could have was hope, and hope is more powerful than fear. If I could give one message to others who are traveling down this journey, is to have hope. Even if it's just hope for this day. Do what you can today to enjoy the time you have together, because at the end of the day, that's all any of us have. Life is not easy, but it's not easy for any of us. Remember that no one can predict the future. Just because a doctor tells you that you have a certain amount of time left to live, you don't have to listen to that. People outlive their grim prognosis all the time. And what JJ taught me was that even if you don't get the cure you want, you can still have hope. You can be hope for other people. And that's what I focus on now without him. It's hard without him, but I focus on having hope for the boys and having enough hope to get through today, and to know that there can be joy amidst the sorrows, that even when things seem like they're at their worst, you can still find hope. Every day is a gift.